let me share with you my experience briefly with respect to working with other people and working with other associations, with working with reason, not with self-rationalization. As a member of the Board of Burgesses for some 14, 15 years, I was on the Board of Burgesses. I worked with people, listened to people. On the, as warden, I work with people and have a record low budget and mill rate. Some of the things that I've worked with reason, we were able to get a historic district put forward in the borough. For 20 years or so, people had diligently worked forward to get a historic district. It had passed. It had not passed by only the slimmest of margins. By thinking, by reasoning, myself and a few other people thought, what would happen if we put the houses who want to be in the historic district, the 75% or so, in, and didn't put the other people in. Those people, if they agree later on that this works pretty well, they will ask to come in, and that's exactly what happened. I know Joan, who was here, myself and Jim Smith, helped put together the health district. We helped formulate this health district, which brought revenues into the town, and also provided a health district which has been very favorable with the borough, with the town. There are a lot of complex issues that resulted. We put them together. I wrote the regulations with respect to that formation. But again, that's working together. That's working and working with reason. But I'm going to try to keep it a little bit shorter. You have to understand, I'm used to speaking for an hour in front of a jury, so I'm not going to tax you for an hour. But one thing I will say is, as a goal, I would like to see a 0% tax increase on the town side. That is a goal, and I will be candid with you. Unlike Mr. Ferriero, he says he's going to attempt to reduce the tax rate of the town by 5%. Honestly, keeping it at 0 is going to be a Herculean effort. The reason for that is there's already a built-in 2% increase, which has to do with the increased wages, increased insurance, and also increased debt service because, for example, for the middle school roof, what have you, there's a built-in 2% increase before you do anything. So if you were to reduce by 5%, that means you're actually cutting the town side by 7%. And on top of that, we have $4 million that we're going to have to look at. $4 million is more than 10% of the $37 million budget for the town side. It's a major problem. Honesty requires reason. Honesty requires a realistic understanding of what the numbers are. 0% increase on the town side is the goal, and I will work very hard to get that done. And I will continue to be, as I always have been, a friend to education. Thank you.
So we have a wealth of resources here that we're not using to their full advantage. Hopefully, when I get elected, it will be an opportunity for me to look at all those parts of town to make Newtown all that it can possibly be. And that's my goal at this point.
We need to make sure our children are getting what they need. The access to our school system, which is phenomenal. They need that access. The special education situation in this town is disheartening, it's frightening. We need somebody on the Board of Ed who understands what that situation is, how to fix it. I have over 20 years of experience in special education. From adults with special education needs, public schools, vocational services, transition services. We need to make sure we are educating our children today so that they become the taxpayers we want in our town in a few years?
Some years back, we had some momentum on a number of great issues in Newtown. And that momentum was lost. And it's harder to pick it up right now because we have the overlay of the economic situation. But that momentum has to come back. And that's what I think the Democrats in town intend to do. And that's what I intend to work for, to try to foster that momentum again. And rather than debating the debaters, we should debate the issues. And if I'm elected to the council, that's what I intend to do. So, thank you.
We need a rigorous curriculum. We need to appreciate and respect the curriculum we have and the teachers who are trying their best to take these kids and make them successful. We must support our schools and support our teachers. It's very disturbing. 1st to 16th. Think about that. What are the consequences?
You know, being conservative in Newtown is not an issue that's owned by any party. Everybody needs to be fiscally conservative these days. So what the public needs to understand when it comes to the town budget, and that's really what the Legislative Council is tasked with as much as anything, is taking the public through the budgeting process so people understand how we get from point A to point B. And I feel that my experience and my involvement in town has put me in a position where, you know, I feel like I can work with anybody who's in any office at this point. And that's what the town really needs, is people who will work together. And so that's my hope. So Legislative Council District 1 is the place where I hope to serve. Thank you.